Emotions are feedback, but stoicism is the ability to process them. And that's what you need to learn as a man. You're never going to be able to turn them off. You're going to feel them. You have to learn how to process them and turn them into a positive. It's energy. It's unlimited energy. I say this all the time. I say that the biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. But when I make my biggest progress, when I really change who I am and change the world, that's when everything's fucked. When things go wrong, or I'm feeling things I don't want to feel, or bad things are happening, that's when I'm like, okay, I currently cannot sleep. I've completed the day's tasks. I've tried to go to bed. I can't sleep. More shit has to be done. That's when the amazing things happen in my life. When I was heartbroken, I hit the gym harder, right? So all the bad things that happen to you as a man, if you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy. Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression, so is rage, so is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind. Bruce Lee says, be like water. And people see that as be fluid and just go with the flow. I disagree. If you're like water, you're necessary for life. You are scary when you're enraged. You're powerful. You're beautiful when you're calm. You're so many things when you're like water, right? So if I'm enraged, it's like water behind a dam. You just got to put the dam in place, and you go get the turbo, the hydroelectrics put in. Don't tsunami your life. Put the energy somewhere. And this is the most beautiful thing about it, because people message me all the time like, oh, but Tate, you don't know how sad I feel. No, it's incorrect. I know exactly how sad you feel. The difference is I used it. And you're sitting here still crying, some random guy on email for the fucking third month in a row. That's the difference between you and me, my friend. I was becoming a world champion kickboxer.
If I feel sad, it does not change how I act, and it does not change the things I do. If I don't feel like going to the gym, I go to the gym. If I don't feel like working, I will still work. I lived in a world for 15 years where I didn't feel like fighting because my nose was broken, but I had to fight anyway. So a lot of these people come to me and they say, oh, but I feel this way. I don't put a huge amount of importance on emotions. It's not that I don't feel them. It's that I don't think they have much to do with anything at all. If I wake up in a happy mood and I have a business to run and females to cater for and things to do, if I wake up in a sad mood, I have the same shit to do. I'm gonna get it done. Where's the importance of this? It's in my mind, that's how I view it. Like, how does that affect what I'm gonna do? Well, nothing, it doesn't. It's not gonna affect how I live my life, so why sit around and think about it? This modern obsession with happiness is the number one problem with the world. Because I really don't believe humans were ever evolved to be happy. I don't give a shit how I feel. I have things to do. Who gives a fuck how you feel? Like, your emotion has nothing to do with the harsh reality of this world. You're either successful or you're not. Life is binary. You either win or you lose. You survive or you don't. These people are so obsessed with themselves and how they feel. The reason you feel depressed is so that you are inspired into action. You're unhappy with your surroundings and you're inspired. This is the reason why you don't want to go to jail. Both of us don't want to go to jail because we'll both be depressed because we don't like our situation. It's a natural human instinct to make you work hard and try harder to build a life. So when people come to me and go, oh, I can't, I'm fat and I don't know what to do because I'm depressed. I say, no, you're depressed because you're fat. Go the other way around. So that's the first thing. Feeling depressed is real. But this idea that you could walk through life and everything's fine and you can catch depression from the sky like a disease and stretch your brain and there's nothing you can do about it. And no matter how hard you try, you are depressed no matter what. This is garbage. This is complete garbage that's been propagated by the weak-minded. And the proof of this is that in countries with a harder life, where people are too busy struggling to survive, there's less depression. It's only in these countries that have nothing else to fucking worry about. If it was true the way they teach it, it'd be universal across the human condition. It isn't. So basically, your life's so good, the only thing you have to do is sit around and worry about why you're not happy enough. Okay, I don't think it's okay to be okay with losing or okay with less than the best. I don't think any of that's acceptable. I lived my life when I was poor, furious at the fact I was poor because my ego, and I'll be honest, my ego is at a point where I didn't understand how other people can afford Ferraris and I can't. I would be 18, walk into college, and a Ferrari would drive past, and it would ruin my week. And everyone would be like, what's wrong with you? I'd be like, don't you see, this fat fuck can buy a Ferrari, and I can't. Why? He's not a better man, he's not a better person than me. I'm just as good as him, if not better. I couldn't stand the fact that there are people who could do things I couldn't. So this gave me unlimited motivation to get rich. Now I found a way to get rich, and I believe that anyone who really, really, truly wants to get rich will get rich, one way or another. I couldn't stand being ordinary. And my question is this: you're saying ordinary people need to come in terms of their ordinariness. I don't think they do. I think they need to become extraordinary. I think they need to try harder. This is the greatest thing. This is the greatest and worst thing about being a man, is that all of your value is built. As a man, it doesn't matter if you're born good looking. If you're stupid and weak and broke, you're still going to struggle. It doesn't matter if you're born rich. As a man, you need to have it all. You need to have wisdom. You need to be funny, strong, good looking helps. They like the idea of you being able to fight. You need interesting stories. You need money. You need freedom to be able to say to a girl, fuck it, we're going to Moscow, pack now. You need all these things. And a lot of that is self-built, not all of it, but a lot of it is. So when I speak to ordinary people, I say, well, how are you trying to stop yourself from being ordinary? And a lot of them aren't. Well, then what the fuck? You're gonna live an ordinary life, you have ordinary results. I couldn't tolerate that. There's no way I would have been a normal person. And I don't know why people are trying to come to terms with that. I don't think you should. I think you should be constantly pushing to be extraordinary, no matter who you are. Talent is only identified in the top 3%. Like, people say that, I had this all the time, oh, but Tate, you're lucky you can fight. I'm like, what do you mean lucky? We didn't find out I could fight or not until I'd already trained for 10 years. Because until the hard work's done, that's where you see the talent. At the beginning, everyone has to work hard. Because if I do no work, and someone who's not talented works hard, they're gonna beat me. So we have to both work our asses off till we're at the very, very top tier, and the only way I can get ahead of him is talent. So talent doesn't appear to the end anyway. Most people haven't worked hard enough at anything to even identify that talent. There's loads of people who could be extremely talented at shit, but they're too lazy to even do the basics. So most people don't even know their own talent. Is there anything particularly I want that I don't have? No. I pretty much have everything I want. And I gave it all to myself. This is what I mean, because I wouldn't accept being ordinary. This is my point. This is my exact point. My life was ordinary, bro. My life was ordinary. My mom and dad split up. I'm in a homeless house. I'm in a shit school. Me and my brother and my mom and my sister were living in some homeless hostel. I didn't know how to fight. I had no money. I'm a normal skinny kid. And then I became kickboxing world champion, multimillionaire. That was all me. And it's all because I sat there and goes, nah, fuck this. So I think everyone else could do the same. You know, who's saying the guy watching this right now would not be a better fighter than me if they didn't go fight? Maybe, but they don't try. They don't go. They're pussies. They're too afraid. They're too afraid to even go and fucking get punched, so they'll never know. And that's the life they want to live, because they'd rather be ordinary. I couldn't live ordinary. I couldn't even do it. Couldn't even. I believe that all of my problems are going to be fixed by me. That no one else is going to wake up and give a fuck about my problems the way I'm going to give a fuck. Nobody else is going to be prepared to go through what it takes to fix them but me. If I'm in the ring getting an ass kicking, not my coach, not my corner, not my fans, no one's going to get me out of there alive but me. It is me. So I turn to myself. If I have a problem, I'll sit in silence on my own. I'll turn to Andrew fucking Tate and he'll get it done.
So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize it and how you process it, right? It's stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? In the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one, maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever, but you made a mistake, and you learn absolute and utter accountability. And that mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for. All of this is my fault, but the Bugatti on my drive is my fault, and the yacht is my fault, the private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that. If something happens to me that makes me enraged, I will take responsibility. Why has this happened to me? Why do I feel this way? How did I end up in this position? Is this healthy in this scenario? And sometimes it is. You're either a disciplined individual or you are not a disciplined individual. Everyone wants money put on their lap. If you truly wanted money, you wouldn't be able to sleep until you fucking had it.
Yeah.
And this is the point. So you're saying you go down a shit spiral, then you're not cut out to be rich, my friend. Get a job in Starbucks. You piss off. Some people, because when I had nothing, I couldn't be distracted. You couldn't distract me from what I wanted. That's who I am. If I want something, I'm gonna get it. So I don't know what more you want me to say. I do not need to be motivated. I'm a disciplined person. If I allocate X amount of time to work, I'm gonna do it. One of the only things in this world you can control is your state of mind. You can't control the weather, you can't control other people, you can't even control your health. You might get a brain hemorrhage, or you might get hit by a bus, or you might get assassinated. One of the very few things in the world you have genuine control over is your state of mind. You decide if you're a disciplined person. You decide if you're a happy person. You decide if you're a depressed person. These are things that in real time you can affect in your brain. This is all you can control on Earth. If you can't control that, then you're just a feather in the wind. And life's going to blow you around, and you might land somewhere good. You might land in dog shit. Nobody knows.